Hello, glorious soul. Kelgunta here with your soul service astrology update for the 14th Feb 2022. If we haven't met, hello, I'm Kelgunta. I'm a 13 sign sidereal astrologer and the creator of soul service astrology. Soul service astrology is a technique, it is a tool, it is a portal into your wild self. What is your wild self? Your wild self is wise, intuitive, intellectual. It leads itself and it's a disruptor. I desire for everyone to come back into that beautiful, beautiful ecological and cosmological connection with themselves so that they can tend to the planet and we have Earth first and all our needs are met. I know it's a big vision. If you've never heard of 13 sign sidereal astrology, let me introduce it. It is observing the night sky where the planets can be observed from our beautiful home planet and drawing meaning from it. This is what astronomy and astrology was in the beginning, observing what we could see in the sky and drawing meaning from it. Just like we can observe our seasons around us and draw meaning from it, we can draw meaning from any part of our environment, an animal or plant around us. We can do exactly the same as the night sky, as above, so below. Tropical astrology, that is not possible. You will not be able to correlate what you see in tropical astrology with what you can see in the night sky. I'm a scientist, that's a problem for me. I would like to be able to observe what I can see in the night sky and correlate it with how I'm feeling. And that's how we come back into that wild connection with self. All right, enough about that because I'll get going on that. Let's check out what's happening in the sky for the week of the 14th of February. All right, so there's the 14th of February's chart. Now, I'm not going to talk about Valentine's Day. I'm going to talk about the National Regenerative Agriculture Day on the 14th of February. Show your soil some love. Show your plants some love. Think about the food that you're consuming, the food that becomes part of your body. Where is that food grown? Even if you've never heard of National Regenerative Agriculture Day, in Australia, it is a national day. You can go to the nrad.org.au website and check it out. If you're in another part of the world, a glorious part of the world, it's still a great time to think, what is regenerative agriculture and where is my food coming from? Show your food some love. Show your body some love by understanding the food that is coming into your body, and enjoy your Valentine's Day. What else is happening on the 14th of February? Okay, so we have Uranus over here in Aries, sextile Jupiter in Aquarius, and it's pretty tight, so it's less than a degree apart. So this is a 60-degree angle. Now, it's not a really big transit, like it's not typically, you've got squares, oppositions, conjunctions, and trines are the ones that pack the punch. But a sextile between two of the outer planets can provide you an opportunity to look at things a little bit differently. So Uranus in Aries basically is the visionary firing you up to do, like your why is firing you up. It's moving forward now. So there's this little fire burning in you. Come on, get going. What are you doing? Let's move. Let's go towards that vision of ours, the change that we want to be and see in the world, right? That's part of our wild self, what I'm describing there. With this energy from Jupiter, it's, I've got this. I've got everything I need. I've got this sacred flame. Jupiter's like, all right, we've got this vision too. Let's get it out there. Let's start inspiring people to come on board with our vision. So how can you use this energy? In particular, if you have a business, review your why. Is it still leading the way? And then are you using inspirational, perhaps posts or articles or blogs or lives to really fire up your potential clients or potential donors if you're working in a not-for-profit space? So there's this opportunity to fan the flames, because this is air, of your sacred flame, and this is fire. So of course, air causes the flame to burn up further. So there's this little opportunity there to do a bit of a review. What am I, what is my vision? What is my why? Is it where I want to be going? And can I focus on that? And how can I make it more inspirational to bring people around my sacred flame? So there's all the analogies for you on Monday. All right, the 15th of Feb, Tuesday, the sun, now obviously not at 12 o'clock, but if I move this a few hours, where is the sun? Oh yeah, the sun has moved into Aquarius at midday. What am I talking about? So the sun moves into Aquarius on Tuesday. Let's put that back to days. So this marries up really well with that sextile energy that's going on there. Now our creator has moved into the beautiful space of Aquarius, and the creator wants to be inspirational. The creator wants to, draw on unique ideas and bring it in. So you've got your why, you know where you're going to go. You've got some loose ideas about how you can inspire people now that the sun is in Aquarius, and it's only going to be in Aquarius for a couple of weeks because, as you can see, it's not a huge constellation. You can start to bring in all those wild, crazy, rebellious, radical ideas, disruptor ideas into your creativity. So you can start to feed it down in now. And interestingly enough, what happens is I look at the energy for the week before I record this, and what happened is it pulled a thread for me, and it took me into, what am I really talking about? What does my creator love doing? What do I really want to put out there? Am I really inspiring people with what I'm talking about? So I ask myself all these questions, and you can ask yourself that too. So again, this is the purpose. This is planets on purpose. This is soul service astrology. I don't want you just sit here and go, oh, that's nice, and carry on with your day. I want this to poke you. It's like, how Facebook used to have those poke things. I want this to poke you to ask yourself a question. It doesn't have to be all the questions I ask, just one question. And it's an opportunity for you to look at something differently within your life, within your business. So that's how you can use this energy. And I'll keep repeating that forevermore. All right, so the 16th of February, excuse me while my notes decide to not open, the 16th of February, which is Wednesday, we have Mercury moving back into Capricorn. Now, this is interesting because we had Mercury move into Capricorn about 4 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 5 weeks ago. And then it started to retrograde quite rapidly, actually, through Capricorn and back into Sagittarius. Now, as our storyteller and our mind and our intellect move back into Capricorn, there's a couple of things we can do here. So look at your story. Look at your archetypal story. Now, you might have heard that said to you as your hero story or the heroine story. I don't like those names. I prefer our archetypal story. What is your story? Where have you come from? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's happened to you? What have you overcome? Your story, right? How does that fit in with your expertness and your mastery? Because obviously we have skills and strengths, and perhaps you've learnt modalities and things like that, and you've obviously got experience through working, perhaps a career or in your business, right? Now, this is your story. How does that fit in with your leader and what you lead with? Are you leading with your story? Is your story part of how you lead? Is your story part of how you're seen as an expert? Because typically we get more connected to people that we see have lived a life and that we can see they're living a life. That's why reality TV is so enthralling. Like, I find myself on predominantly Instagram, and I'm looking at people, and I like, there's some people that I really like, and I see them living their lives. And now I've tried to start doing that. So that's a change I'm making. It's sharing more of my everyday story in my leadership, in my mastery, how I want people to see me for me, not some fake version of me, right? Or pretend version. The other thing that you can start to look at with Mercury moving into your leadership is you can start to really use the intellect and your logical mind to work out your goals and what you're going to work on and what is on your plate this year. What's on your plate this year, right? I'm going to be doing this later today. What is on your plate this year? Use your intellect, use your mind to, if you've done the work before where you've allowed yourself to have a rest and you really know and you're feeling and you're using your intuition and you're watching what's going on around you and you're not overcommitting. Don't overcommit. Don't overcommit. We don't want burnt out people. You're better off doing one thing really well than 59 million things. Kind of just do one thing really well that you're really good at. That is okay, right? And you're allowed to say no. Okay, so you can start to bring your intellect in and your logical mind in to strategize those goals and move forward with that. All right, so that's Mercury into Capricorn. And then on the 17th of February, we have a full moon in Leo. So Leo is the creator. Big flame of energy towards this is what I create. This is authentically what I love to do. This is what I love to express. This is me, right? And with the full moon here, that's creator energy too. So we've kind of got the sun shining on the moon because that's a full moon, right? We've got the sun illuminating our soul. We have heart and soul, right? So we have this big energy here. We're putting something out in the world. Now with the sun in Aquarius, it's backed up by this real passionate why, this shining a light, and I want to see change in the world, and this is my why, and I'm feeding it in through my creativity and shining it out to the world. But it's not just my sun shining out to the world, it's not just my heart, it's my soul, so it's everything. So this full moon energy might have you, because it's full moon energy, so typically there's something being illuminated in our inner realm that you might be a little bit afraid of to show us, to put out in the world, to be really authentically you, right? And it might be fear of judgment. Because of course, as a creator, as this artist archetype that Leo is with a full moon, which again is like artist archetype again, we want everybody to love what we do, but not everybody is going to love what we do. So we kind of have to look at what external thing am I thinking is going to fill me up, right? What external adoration or validation am I seeking by putting this out there? And is that really what I want? Or do I just want me as the creator putting this out there and sending this energy out and expressing myself in my authenticity? Now, even if you don't perceive yourself as a creator, you are, because you are the creator of your own expression and you are the creator of your own authenticity. And of course, you have heart-led values and you have soul-led values and you have soul-led changes that you would love to see in the world and heart-led changes you would love to see in the world, right? And of course, everyone's going to have a fear of judgment when we really, really put ourselves out there. So this full moon, here's some questions for you. Do I have a fear of judgment? How can I embrace courage? And do I even feel courageous? Because of course, to put ourselves out there when we may not be loved by everyone is a courageous act. So Leo, that Leo energy is to embrace the quality of courageousness and to still put it out there, even though not everyone is going to love us, right? And I just got the thought of about Ricky Gervais's Afterlife. And of course, he dealt with a very tricky issue that humans tend to sweep under the carpet: death, grief, and depression. He did it in a very compassionate way, but he also used some very cringeworthy black humor. And there's going to be people that will turn off because of that. They don't like that type of creativity, right? They won't get beyond that to see what other message he was sharing with what he created there. But if you can bring your unique self to it. There will be people that you are going to engage and connect with because they can see that you're authentically expressing yourself, just like Ricky Gervais did when he created Afterlife. Now, there is some other aspects happening when we have that full moon, and it's not quite showing up on my chart at the moment, but there are some other things that you can ask yourself on the full moon to do with the North Node. And it comes into a bit more play the following day when we have the North Node trining Pluto here. So there's this North Node energy. It was impacting also the full moon. There was a square, but it just wasn't showing up on my chart. So when we have, we want to create something. So we have these desires. Now, Taurus is about our desires typically for material security, right? But of course, in a capitalist society, that's kind of gone a little bit wonky. We've kind of taken a bit too much from the earth. We've imbalanced that ecological law of finite resources a little bit too much. And our human programming just keeps us wanting all those nice things to make us feel good. So when I refer to intentional desires, it's something that you've sat down and gone, okay, this is what I want. It's not a need. It's what I want. Is it intentional? Is it backed up by my values? Or am I just taking more than I should be taking? So there are a couple of questions that you can ask yourself as well. And are my desires fueled by the external rather than the internal? And that's a couple of questions that you can ask whether you're seeking that external validation over finding it in the inner world. If we move to the 18th, there's a bit more North Node energy on the Friday the 18th, and this rounds out the last main aspect for the week. So North Node energy in Taurus, North Node is just a point, it's not a planet. So I don't give it as much weight as other astrological systems do. Vedic astrology and Indian astrology gives the North Node a lot more weight. I describe it as your mission. It's in a place that makes you feel slightly uncomfortable. Our South Node is where we've done things previously. It would be referred to as our karma or our previous actions in past lives, past incarnations. And that's easy for us. So the North Node takes us into a place that might feel slightly uncomfortable. And in Taurus, it's asking us, are you taking too much from the planet? Are your desires intentional? And are your desires value backed? Or are you using, and what I said just previously, are you using that external world to fill you up and make you feel good about yourself? Or can you do that in a very simplistic, beautiful way through your life and what you're creating and who you're connecting with and that connection with Earth, right? So that's the North Node. Now it's making a lovely trine with Pluto. So Pluto is about our transformation. And this is good energy, right? So there is this lovely flowing energy towards supporting our transformation and in allowing us to sit with the concepts that I just brought up, this opportunity for you to go and inquire. So here are a couple of questions. What is your mission? So I said here, intentional value-led mission connected and grounded to Earth, that's North Node in Taurus, can transform you towards your wild dreams. All right, so that's Pluto. What's your mission? So this is a review that you can do regularly when the energies come up. What is your mission? What are your values? How do you honor Earth? And what is your wild dream? And something that came up for me when I did this a week before the energy comes in was I reviewed my wild dream and I realized that it still had flavors of the system that I'm in. It wasn't wild enough. It was still being led by money, not by the changes that I wish to see in the world and the beautiful architectural thing that I would love to see in the world. So that is a bit of when you look at it, but just put your desires through that filter. Am I taking too much? Is it value led? Am I leading with something external that is part of the system? Or am I really trying and programming a dream in there that is beyond the known and is purely intentionally backed by the changes that I desire to see in the world, right? So that's a filter you can apply to your desires and wants. I'm not talking about needs. Needs are different. All right, so that rounds out the energy for this week. And as I've mentioned, these are all opportunities for you to inquire. That is how you can use astrology. Now, you'll hear me say that's astrology in action, or that's planets on purpose. Now, if you would like to go deeper into your celestial alchemy, of course, there was a blueprint that was in the sky the moment you took your first breath, Earth side, and that is called your birth chart. So it is a map of the sky, similar to what you just saw on those previous slides, that leaves an energetic imprint in you. So that's the as above, an acausal imprint. And that energy is fused into your cells, into your atoms and the molecules within you. And it allows you an opportunity to co-create the life and or business of your dreams. Your wild dreams, of course. So it allows you to inquire in all facets of your life. So if you would like to do a birth chart with me, of course I offer those. I'm an astrologer. I have two ways. The first way is you can simply order a 20-minute recording. You get a copy of your chart, and then I will record you a 20 to 30-minute recording of the main parts of your chart, so you can understand the components of yourself. Perhaps there'll be some strengths in there, some weaknesses, and of course, questions. I'm going to ask you questions to inquire and go deeper. Alternatively, you can go the whole hog and do a full session with me, a full birth chart evaluation. That is 90 minutes with me online, anywhere in the world. I send you your birth chart, but I also send you a summary report as well. So you get a report so that you can remember all the bits and it's not just on a recording. Now, during the one-on-one 90-minute session, I describe the chart to you for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then the remainder of a session, we go on an experientially and intuitively led guidance session. So you get to experience the planets beyond the logical mind. If you would like to do a birth chart session with me, go to my website. It's down below, kellygunter.com, or my link will be in the bio wherever you're watching this video. If you would like to just hang out with me more and learn more about astrology and make sure you don't miss anything, come and join my free group in Facebook, Sidereal Stars with Kel, or sign up to my mailing list, which you can do on my website too, kellygunter.com. Please subscribe to my channel because I'm going to have more information coming up here in 2022. Have a glorious week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.